What is going on, everybody? This is Nick here at Y480. We are playing NHL 17 be a GM mode, and we're going to start it out with a trade here at the beginning of free agency. Last episode, we moved up to free agency with pretty much the whole core that we left last season with, and it was... The consensus in the comments was to make some trades, open up some room, and sign some free agents. We did lose Picard, if you did watch, in a dramatic fashion. He would not take any money we offered him. He also went on the free agent market below what he was asking of us. So he really didn't want to stay here. Even when I offered him the full amount that he wanted, duration, everything, he said he wants to win now. More money will help. It never worked. So... never seen that before. Let me know if there's any way I can maybe fix that in the future, because obviously if there's a big gun in NHL 18 that I want to keep, I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose him to greed, I guess. But, you know, whatever. Water under the bridge. Now Stolarz is the main guy, but we need to definitely invest in a better goaltender. Bobrovsky is on the free agency block, and we will be going after him. I'm just going to let you know now. That means we have to open up a little bit of cap room to make all the moves we need to make. Now, the only reason is we're going to have to sign him for like 10 mil, which sucks for like 4 years. But we can always move him. He's only 30, and I don't think we'll need to move him. 10 mil a year to win a cup maybe this year. I'm not fazed by it, especially next year. And this is the lot I'm thinking about trading. Landeskog just is the odd man out at this point, especially if we want to make the move that we're thinking about currently. So this is what the trade value I've kind of evened out on both sides, and I want to send him over to the east. So we're going to go with Tampa Bay here. Now I want to get a pick out of them, but that's even just for Landeskog isn't directly, you know, perfect. I think we had a little higher trade value. And once I added in another asset that I actually wanted, it was way over on the scale. So I was like, okay, let's add in a couple of these AHL top 2 guys. They're medium, so don't worry. They're not going to we're not going to use them with all the other guys that we currently have. And I think a 5th round pick. We'll see. I haven't simulated, so we'll see. Who is it? Yeah, I wanted to get this Howden guy because he is low 80s at 21. He's a two-way forward, and he's depth forward role. So you can play in the AHL this year, and then next year maybe be one of our bottom 6 two-way guys when we inevitably lose a couple dudes to free agency and them wanting too much. Plus his defensive awareness, face-offs, things of that nature are looking really good for his current trajectory. And this is a guy at like 25, 26 could really be just like a solid third or, you know, I'm thinking 2nd or 3rd liner, honestly. I'd like to keep him on the 3rd line, though. Look at the wrist shot power, 99. Slap shot power, 89. So this guy is going to definitely be a power shooter. And I'm probably going to slot him in 1st line center in the AHL for a year, and the next year have him up on the 3rd line as my two-way forward line. I've got more of a plan now. I know in the past it's been like the team's been a little skewed. I finally have a plan for everybody, and we're going to just start leaping towards it. Plus, the dude's really fast. Look at his skating category, and I know that's mostly because he's young. He doesn't have the best poise, but this will all grow with some years in the minors. I like this Howden guy a lot, even though he's only medium top 9. I think that he can, him at an 85 as a 3rd line center is cups. That is cups. That is depth, two-way forward play. So I think this is pretty much it. I think just because they don't want to give him up, we had to kind of put it in our favor a little bit. I was looking at other places to send Landeskog. The thing is, I don't want a rostered player on the NHL squad for Landeskog. I want a pick and a prospect. Howden is a 3rd liner of the future. Hopefully he can get up to like a Landeskog level, like 85, 86. Landeskog's at 87 right now, but that's because he had some pretty solid play in the playoffs. But for where we're going and what the consensus in the comments and my own mind, I don't want to keep him. It's just not worth it. So let's see if this goes through real quick. Okay, done deal. So it just barely went through. I think that's good to go. So obviously Landeskog leaving is a big hurt in the locker room, but it's good to do it here now at free agency time so we can bring in new guns for what we need. Now, I'm not going to force this next trade, but I did want to make another trade before we go into free agency. Now, one of the things is this is another case of odd man out. Unfortunately, with what we're currently at, Grimaldi does not fit as a third line sniper. I can't have a third or fourth line sniper. If we put him on the second line or something, had him play, I'd be cool with that, but I'm not having a third line scoring line. It's been actually detrimental to have him and other snipers in the bottom six, just because of the plus minus category. Our goals against is almost always scored against our third line. And when we moved Boyle up there, it helped a little bit. And then the fourth line started to suffer. So Grimaldi, he's got trade value. We need to get rid of him. The other thing is, I do want to, I kind of had a split decision on this one. I was thinking this was where we would get rid of Jost. But then I finally kind of realized Jost still has a lot of potential, especially if we put him on the power play. This guy, or the penalty kill, this guy can really grow, you guys were saying, to a good overall. And with his kind of, everything's kind of in the middle. As you can see, like his shooting, skating, physical, like everything you can see is going to be pretty average. He's not going to be like a 90 overall player unless we play him on the first line all year. He's not that kind of player. He's a two-way forward. I think this is a third line center of the future. This year especially, we're going to probably play him on the third line and then maybe the first line power play or penalty kill just to get more ice time. I'll put him up in the extras lines, maybe put him out there for 3-on-3. I want him to grow. And you guys are saying we don't need to put him on the second or the first line. Just put him on special teams, put him on extras, things of that nature. And he'll grow a little bit more than he had. And he has grown while he's been on our team. You know, he started out at 78, so we're looking good. He's just, you know, he's a slow development. He's only 21. His poise, though, is great, and his discipline's good. You know, his senses category is pretty good. He's got some growth to do. So I was thinking about throwing him into a trade because he didn't really fit, but we're going to make him fit. I've decided we're going to make him fit, and we're probably going to go and trade away the person who would have been sliding in at his place, which, if I can find him, is William Karlsson here. Now, Karlsson, I really kind of want it to keep because his faceoffs are good. He's a good, you know, average player, and, you know, he may jump up to like an 83, 84. And as a third line two-way forward, that's amazing. That's great. He's got a lot of speed. His defensive awareness could be better as a two-way guy, but it's all good. And I was going to keep him, trade away Jost maybe for some picks and some good stuff, and then have Karlsson be on that third line as the third line center for the next like year or two. But Jost just kind of tugged at my heartstrings, and I realized like that's not a trade I want to make. I want to put Karlsson on there, and Leipzig needs to play some time as well because he's a year younger than Karlsson, so we're not going to throw him in yet. Plus, Karlsson not getting $2.275 million on this new contract. And if we were to like scratch him or have him in the AHL, you know, and he doesn't really fit, it's just not worth it. And we need to open up a little bit more cap. So that's what we're looking at here. Now, I wasn't 100% on who we would trade these two guys to. But this definitely opens up some good spots for our young guys too, which is the reason why we're doing this. Yeah, so let's jump here. I think, oh God, I don't remember. The thing is, I don't simulate these trades, so I don't. Okay, this actually I think was one of the teams. I think Calgary has. Do they want to give up their first round pick? That was the thing. And I'm sorry if this is kind of boring, but I'm just kind of talking it out as I go with you guys. They did, okay, and their pick has like a lower value than the other one. So this one may actually go through as is. The thing is, Grimaldi and Karlsson don't add up to this amount, which does kind of suck. And I was originally with Jost going to get maybe a prospect as well. But I think because of their ages, they don't, like, Grimaldi's got a decent trade value, but, you know, Karlsson's a little lower because he's going to cap off this fall. And if he caps off at 82, you know, it's done. You got to pay him almost 2.3 basically for the next 3 years. Maybe that's not worth it for Calgary, but he is technically still growing. So is Grimaldi. So just looking at it as it is right now, I think I kind of just want to go for it. Okay, I have a couple prospects written down here to look at, and one of them, is he on Calgary actually? Osborne, I think he's here on Calgary, but I don't think they want to give him up. I looked through a ton of teams to just see if any of these trades. But yeah, okay, this was the guy I was looking into. This right wing, I think he's a two-way guy, right? Oh, he's a power forward, yeah. So he's a power forward, right winger, right-handed. I was just thinking this would be a really great player to try to get from them. Medium top 6 would have been nice, but I'll take the first-round pick. Just because Calgary's kind of an aging team at this point. They do have a lot of good players, though, so I think they'll make the playoffs, but we can always use this first-round pick to as a trade asset because we are collecting a lot of them. So I think this works out pretty well. We do need to open up some roster spots, so just getting a first-round pick in one of the best drafts since the first one, I'm good with that, and that's the decision I'm making. Let's run with it. So let's see if they do this. Okay, they rejected it. Let's throw in a pick here, a later round one. See if we can get away with maybe doing like a 7th. I don't think it'll. Yeah, look at all this. So we'll have 4 first-round picks, 2 seconds, a 3rd, and 2 4ths. So let's try to get the 7th. If not, I will throw in that other 4th maybe. Okay, wait, let's read this real quick. It changed what it typically said, because I think we haven't simulated this one yet, have we? Okay, it says you sent us multiple players to fill a single need, so we're gonna have to say no to this deal. We would take Rocco Grimaldi. Okay, if you decide to try again. So they don't want to get. Oh, they have one. Basically, these two guys would fill the same role for them. Ooh, that's tough. So let's see if they would take the thing is, I got to think of it as we're trading. Let's trade away our 4th so we keep the Toronto one, because I feel like we'll do better than Toronto this year, hopefully. And, yeah, that'll be the... We'll do that. Okay, yeah, they're still saying the same thing. We'll try one more time here. Hopefully we can do it. And then maybe we'll have to reassess. Let's do this 7th. And let's see if there's any unsigned players we're not going to use that they could use. Do they want anyone else? This is one thing. It sucks because I can't like really simulate the trades and have it be fair, but I also like, okay, they do want these AHL top 2 guys. I said in the last draft we are not going to be using. So let's go with this guy because he's already 20, and just see if that adds any fuel to the fire. They do want him as well, so I don't want to give up that 4th. That's kind of the problem. I really want to keep the 4ths because I think we can find some good depth prospects there, or just use those to trade up, because this was the one draft we were collecting for. Last year we didn't really do anything. Let's try to see if we can give him the 6th instead. 6th, 7th, and then Galligan. Okay, this may go through, and we get a nice first-round pick. This would be nice. Okay, I think we got to do the 4th. Yeah, it really sucks because... Okay, yeah, we're going to do ours. I don't want to spend too much time in this, and I feel like I already have. Yeah, they once again don't want to give that up either. Let's just, instead of this 6th-round pick, let's just do slightly more trade value and give them that other AHL top 2 we're not going to use. Remember, this isn't just throwing random people in. These were people I drafted to trade away. When I drafted them, saw their potential, I said, okay, we're going to trade them away. That's it. That's the end of it. Okay, there we go. Finally, it just barely goes through. We believe it will contribute to our success. They get that 4th, whatever. It finally went through, and we get rid of 2 more roster spots and some cap. Let's sign some studs and win a damn cup this year. Okay, so Consensus in the comments. Sign some damn studs. So we're going to offer Skinner and... Yeah, we're going to do Skinner and Bobrovsky. Now, we could do Wheeler because he wants a little bit less. But he's a right winger. So I'll just get Skinner. He's a 90 plus. We're going to be good. So let's see Bobrovsky. He wants 8.925 and 2 teams are interested. I'm not going to mess around. I'm not going to mess around. We're just doing $10 million for the 4 years. It's August. It's August, boys. We got to do it. If we want to win this cup this year or next year or the next year or the next year, the next 4 years, and we have this stud in goal, we're going to be good. So $10 million for the next 4 years of his life. Hopefully it's not too generous. I did do some math on it, and actually, if you went with the whatever it's called, the 0.15, basically the 15% rule, he would want like 10.3. So I'm kind of nervous that this won't go through and we'll be screwed. But $10 million seems really good. It seems just good enough for him. I remember, well, look at, we could always re-sign Picard. I just don't want to because he doesn't want to play for us. It wouldn't be realistic. And Skinner was the other one here. So he wants $8 million even. No other teams are currently interested, but he wants 5 years. This is going to be a rough one because I would just offer him 4, but he wants more. I don't want to risk it. We're going to do the long-term contract because it's August. Not going to worry about it. It might not be a good idea, but this was the consensus. Get a left wing stud to fill the first round or the first line. Move Hoffman down to the second line. Put him on the first line power play or whatever. You got 2 snipers there. Get the playmakers in there to help him out and go for it. So we're just going to make it easy on him and offer him $9 million for the next 5 years. And, wow, that is a lot of salary cap between 2 players. Oh, my gosh. Okay, that is nerve-wracking. Can't look at anybody else because we're not going to have the space. We have $20 million. So we only had $1 million of wiggle room. I am hoping so hard. I'm hoping so hard that we do not flub this move. This was a big risk trading away all these guys. Let's just go one day at a time. Day 2. Day 3. Day 4. No answer from the studs. Day 5. We got Jeff Skinner. Okay. We got Jeff Skinner. No! Oh, no. Okay. So it looks like he hasn't signed with another team. Okay. We can still get Bobrovsky. Like I said, he wanted 10.3 if we did it mathematically. We can still get him. We have $12 million in cap space. I'd like to keep a little bit just in case we have to make some moves up and down and the game doesn't account for that. That is the worst thing that could happen if we've got a bunch of guys down in the AHL and we just need to move somebody up for like $1 million. I really don't want to make a trade for a terrible, terrible flub like that. So he's still out here. Thank you, Bobrovsky, for not signing with another team. No other teams are currently interested either. So the math says 10.3. Let's do 10.375 and see if the dude will do it. The math says 10.33. So I'm going out on a limb here. Oh my God, this is very nerve-wracking. Remember, Picard is still available, but I don't think if we go another 5 days, he will be. Very nerve-wracking, very nerve-wracking. This is one of the biggest free agencies in our whole career as the GM. All right, day 1 goes by. Day 2 goes by. Is it going to be another 5 days? Come on, don't give me 5 days, bud. Okay, I think it is. We got him, boys. Oh my God, that was so excruciating. Okay, I don't think I'm going to sign any more free agents because we've kind of filled everything we need. I'm going to wait till we shake everything out. $2.69 million, so that is just fine. Duchesne's still available. He'll definitely get picked up. That guy's a stud. I was thinking it would be cool to bring him back, but somebody like Skinner, we need a wing. You know, we just couldn't. We couldn't just turn away from that. Picard still is available. Okay, so we would have been maybe okay. We could have, you know, signed him, which it's funny because he wants less than he was asking. He was asking for 6.22. And 225, and now he wants 5.7 in the free agent market. I offered him the full amount, and he still didn't want. I don't know, dude. The guy is crazy. Okay, maybe we could. I really don't want to get in trouble, just in case EA has shaken out our lines in the stupidest way possible. See if there's any other depth guys. I mean, there's a couple dudes. This Klimchuk guy would be kind of cool. Everybody else is right around 26. Bobkov would be cool. Yeah, I'm not really super into any of the prospects other than that Klimchuk guy, honestly, because he's already 78 at 20. Well, he's 78 at 24, so we'd have to really go above his pay grade. And Brissot, okay, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're fine. We're good right now. I mean, I will sign some depth guys, but let's sim up to the preseason and set our lines, you know, just to what I kind of think they would be. And then you guys can let me know down in the comments. This was one of the most exciting free agencies I've ever had in all my time playing GM mode, back all the way to, what, 2010 or so. So that's crazy. I know I've probably done some other weird things and, you know, fantasy GMs and stuff like that haven't made sense. This pretty much made sense for the most part, but also was just a really... Can you imagine if this happened to one team in the free agency where their goalie doesn't want to resign? Just completely makes drama, does not want to resign, says you're not winning right now, I don't want to be on your team. And we're like, what? We're gonna re-sign all these people in the. That's the thing. You can't really talk to the goalie into your plan in EA games because they don't give you that option. That would be kind of cool if you could like plan a meeting with them and just say like, this is our plan. We want you to be the guy for the next 5 years, and we're gonna sign this guy and this guy and this guy, and then we're gonna win the cup year 2 of your 5-year contract or something, and persuade them. And depending on their personality, you could persuade them. But that would only happen if they really didn't want to be there, if they had that kind of personality, because that would be a fine line. Because if that happened every year, that would be super annoying, and I wouldn't like that. But it happens. It does happen to teams. So that was very dramatic. We don't re-sign him. He won't take any money from us. We even give him a huge check. He says no. He rips it up, void. So we go in, we trade away our captain, we trade away some depth players, we acquire 2 more first-round picks, a prospect, and then we sign a stud goaltender, a Vezina Trophy-winning goaltender, and we sign a stud. Did he win the Calder? I think he won the Calder Trophy in his first year in the league. Jeff Skinner, for being Rookie of the Year. We win this championship level talent in free agency, and now we're a completely different team that actually has a makeup. How intense and dramatic is that? And I'm just blown away. Plus, this game is going really slow, so it's cool to kind of tell the story through everything. And at this point, if it does take another like 5 minutes, I'll just cut it here. But if not, we can still kind of talk about it. I really think that this team this year or the following year is going to go to the Cup final. And especially with the talent we currently have, I still feel like a couple players are going to make the jump, and we're going to have to find some time for all of them. But at the end of the day, we've got the talent, and I have a vision for the team. I have it in my head. I have it written down. We know who's going to be slotted in where. It's just a matter of, my opinion versus what you guys think. And with our new players acquired, I especially need your help in that. So let's just go ahead and cut it here, sim up to that, and I will use movie magic to get us to the next point. So see you in one moment. All right, and after a million years, here we are. Look at the new look Colorado Avalanche. 290s on the first line with Marner, the playmaker. So playmaker Marner, playmaker McKinnon, sniper Skinner at a 90 overall. Here's our first look at his stats. He's got the defensive awareness as well. So this first line might be one of the best in the NHL at this point. Definitely top 10 with the fact that both these guys can really do their due diligence on the defensive side, and then Marner absolutely shuts it down in the awareness section. So first line, I really, really like it. Here's where we went with Ho-Sang instead on the second line than Barzal. I know Barzal is the low elite and needs to play kind of over his third line scoring forward potential. But this year, I think I just kind of had something else in mind. So we put Ho-Sang up here. So 2 playmakers and a sniper in Hoffman. Top 6, this is what my vision is. It's going to be unreal. Look at Grigorenko up at an 88 as well. The dude can shoot the puck. What was his, his passing's at 88 and his puck control's 90. So he's going to be really scooting that over to Hoffman as much as possible. And Ho-Sang, we know, is clutch when it comes to just getting those passes over, getting a lot of assist numbers. So him playing a higher end role on this will really help out. Bottom 6 is where it kind of gets into, I didn't necessarily, the thing is Barzal isn't an odd man out because I want to keep him. But the fact that we have 2 84s that are 2 different styles of player, the thing is I wanted the third line to all be 2-way forwards. And I kind of forgot that we got Marner, we have Ho-Sang, and we have Barzal, who can all really play in the top 6. But Barzal should be able to get it done on the third line with people like Jost and Lepsic now playing that defensive awareness card on the third line. And remember, we can always swap these guys out a little bit. Lemieux, I would have liked to have gotten him up to the third line. I just think I'd rather have him on the fourth line so Lepsic can shut down the defensive side, so we don't get that third line that gets scored against all the time. Because Barzal's a lot better off in terms of he's just got more of an upside than Grimaldi did. So we wanted to keep him and not, trade him away. But, and then fourth line, Nieto, which I would have liked to have in this slot right here. I just wish we could have Barzal in the top 6 as well. The thing is, this top 6 is so streamlined and works so well. They're all the right handedness. They're all the right positions. It's beautiful. I love it. But then Nieto down here with Boyle. Obviously, Boyle's able to shut it down physically. Lemieux's able to shut it down physically. And Boyle will do his due diligence on the 2-way game as much as possible. Here on defense, we got Barry and Shattenkirk taking up their first line role again. Zadorov and Carrick are going to be playing here on the top 4. Which, Zadorov may not grow in this position, which is unfortunate, but we threw him on the penalty kill, things like that. Sanheim and Marchenko. Sanheim, I just can't see him breaking through and then putting one of these guys down. That's kind of the thing at this point, which is really unfortunate because I guess you guys do say he does grow pretty well. So we'll try to fit him in somewhere. I didn't do as much thought on these lines. Obviously, we could throw someone up here that we don't see, but Zadorov's here just because I didn't do best lines, but I just kind of moved the lines around. I put Barzal up here, so we're probably going to put, I would guess somebody like, actually, let me look back here. We don't need to change it now, but I just moved these around for best line, so it doesn't make sense. Obviously, we're not putting a defensive defenseman on the first line wing. But I was probably thinking maybe we can put Ho-Sang up here. Or we could, if you guys want, put Barzal up there and then put Zadorov back here. But I'm thinking for now, maybe we just put Ho-Sang up there. He gets his time, and that's, that's the growth we want to see. Because if we saw Ho-Sang up at like an 89, 80, or, we see Grigorenko at an 88 as a medium top 6, Ho-Sang could definitely get up to an 88 this year if he really pushes it. This, is filthy. This is also pretty filthy. The 4 here, we changed it. We put Jost up here so he gets some time just in case maybe, 1 out of every 10 games there's one of these situations. We're going to put Jost on the first penalty kill, which might not be good, but we want to get him more time than just the third line so we can get him up to a better overall. even if he's just a trade asset for the future. Boyle's on here on the penalty kill just to get more time as well, and Nieto to get time. So that's that. Lemieux to get time, which does suck because if we start losing because of goals against on the penalty kill, I will switch this around. I just want people to get their time at this point. On paper, it's just about time. McKinnon and Boyle on the three-man, just because Boyle can win the faceoff, so can McKinnon. And McKinnon, you know, he's got good defensive awareness as well. Marner is definitely someone I'd like to see on the penalty kill, but you know how it is. Extras are looking like this. I'm not going to take too long on it. It's going to show you real quick. And goaltenders, woo, baby, 89 in goal. Stolarz manning the backup position. We only have Bork scratched because I didn't have anywhere for him to go on the AHL squad, which he could really help out, but I want to get guys their time down there as well. No lines is no lines. And we go to AHL real quick. Here's what it looks like. We finally got Comtois up here, which is looking good at 78. He should definitely move up, and we'll see him up in the NHL probably next year or the following. Faxa playing on the first line wing instead. You know, that's maybe something I will change in the future, but I wanted to get Tippett some time as well. The thing is, we don't see any of the Klima guys, which is super unfortunate. They were kind of the experiment, and I kind of realized I was just putting them up there just as a novelty act, which isn't something I want to do. I want to win this year, so, you know, we're looking good. I put Nash down here because he's not growing or anything. He can just be our fourth line guy. Here's defense, Malochi. As you can see, Barbaro down here, he's not growing anymore, so I wanted him to just help out Siemens. Dahlin playing on the top four, just so we do see some quick growth with Dodery, and then Trotman and Malochi up here on the first line, looking real good. This is something maybe we could put Barbaro up with Trotman if we're losing some games, but I don't honestly keep track of it that much. And then we'll just look at goaltenders. Warner, who is actually growing to fringe starter, and then DiPietro, who's growing his fringe as well. So hopefully both these guys, hopefully DiPietro can leapfrog Warner at some point and get the starting goal job. Really the only thing we've got scratched is we do have this top six guy, but he's 21 and he's offensive defenseman. I'm okay with kind of keeping that. The Klima Bros, obviously, which is very sad, but they're 22. Suzuki I would like to also play, but unfortunately, it's just like we've got some other guys that are inevitably going to go over them. And you could make an argument for maybe switching out Nash or something like that. But I do want these guys down here to grow, and I want somebody like an 80 overall to mentor these young guns down here. Now, Klima is here in left wing. We can always change him out. I just put him down on the fourth line. I meant to say we took out one of both Klima Bros. So we don't have the Klima Bros. We have a Klima Bro now. Just Kevin in there because he is higher than his brother. But I could put him back in, and we could, you know, put Nash somewhere else, or we could scratch him. I don't really care. You know, AHL isn't super important when it comes to these bottom guys here. Because top nine, yeah, low top nine, he'll probably won't. Actually, we could probably get someone like Suzuki up higher than this guy, come to think of it. Let me know what you guys think, though. This is just all speculation on my side. So there it is. We made a ton of trades. We got a lot of assets in, you know, prospects and picks. We got a lot of assets in when it comes to Skinner and Bobrovsky, which is just beautiful. And I think look at our stat line, 93, 92, 90 in goal now. It's no longer an 85. So we should sim well. That's all I'm saying. We should sim well. Let me know what you guys think down below. Give me your line suggestions, any changes AHL, NHL you want to make. And just let me know your thoughts. I don't think we really need to make any other moves. Maybe just a couple roster edits. But we're looking good. For the first time in a long time, we're looking like it is assured that we will get into the top. I'd say we can easily be a top 5 team in the league come the first month and a half to maybe a President's Trophy winning team if we can get our line stall work together. You know, chemistry is one thing, you know, so. Great. Well, that's enough speculation from me. I don't want to keep having snippets be taken out of context, so I'm going to stop talking. But if you haven't yet, go ahead and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Y4Turbo. Big things coming very soon, and we will see you next time out on the ice.